Well, it is the beginning of May and the Orange Cat Cruise has just set sail. Actually, it set sail yesterday. Yesterday was May 1st, so it was the official kickoff. Today is May 2nd. So welcome to the first week of the Orange Cat Cruise Escape the Readathon reading vlog. Week 1. I didn't start this vlog yesterday, which was the first official day of the Readathon, and that's because I hadn't started to read anything yet. So last night I started Bloom, and I am reading Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson to help my team podcasters, escape the pool room. The prompt to unlock the pool room is to read a book with double letters in the title, so double letters OO. And then I finished this book today. It's only 200 pages, and it's a 5-star read. Most of this book, I would say, was a 4-star read, but the last 4 or so chapters bumped it up to a 5-star. What I really liked about this book was the writing. Now, I have read books where the writing is beautiful and really flowery, and I just personally don't like that type of writing. I like more straightforward narration and not beautiful prose. This book was a perfect mix of both of them. For example, the way that she described sugar and salt was a sparkle of sugar and a sparkle of salt. I would classify this book as a romantic horror. And like I said, the last 4 chapters gave me whiplash. But the chapters leading up to that were sprinkled with just the right amount of intrigue and, ooh, what was that? Is that important? That's a little bit weird, to keep my attention. Which, it wasn't that hard to keep my attention. It was only 200 pages. I also think that the cover is gorgeous and creepy. So, read number 1 for the Escape the Readathon is in the books. On a side note, I just received these in the mail. I bought these from a bookseller on the app Whatnot. These are little magnetic bookmarks from the graphic novel Saga. There's Lying Cat. I can't wait to put these to use. Even though magnetic bookmarks are not my favorite, I do like to collect them more than I like to use them. I am also listening on audio to The One. I'm about 75% done with that, and if I finish that before my team unlocks the pool room, then I will submit that read towards unlocking the pool room. Otherwise, I will just hope that it fits another prompt, or I can always log it for pages read to help my team that way. This is a thriller sci-fi about a time when there has been an invention where we can be matched with our perfect partner, our soulmate, on a DNA level. And this explores different possibilities, different couples, different experiences. What happens if one half of a couple gets matched with somebody who is not their current partner? What are the deeper implications and consequences of a technology like this? This is my first John Marrs book, and while it's been on my radar for a little while, I did read a book by Christina Lauren that was sort of similar, and for that reason, I put off reading The One. But now that I'm almost done with The One by John Marrs is completely different than The Soulmate Experience by Christina Lauren. That is just more of a rom-com, following one couple type of a thing. It doesn't really delve deeper into the social implications of a technology like this. I plan on finishing this tonight while playing some Disney Dreamlight Valley. Up next on the docket, I do have 2 books that came in at the exact same time from the library, 2 audiobooks. I have Emily Henry's brand new one, A Great Big Beautiful Life, as well as Beartown, so I need to get both of those finished in the next 2 weeks. I'm not exactly sure which one I will pick up this week and will be talked about in this vlog, but both of them will be talked about in vlogs this month. As far as my next read, I am either going to pick up Recursion by Blake Crouch. That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf by Kimberly Lemming, or Foxglove by Adeline Grace. But it's about 6 o'clock right now. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to get into bed. I'm going to finish this audiobook. And then we'll see what mood I'm in and where my mood takes me for my next read. So I'll check in with you tomorrow and let you know what I picked up. Happy cruising! Sunday night reading update. Team Podcasters is chugging along. I can't tell you what's going on. It's a secret. But we are moving and we are shaking, and that's what's important. I finished The One last night. I gave it a 4 stars. That book left me with a lot to think about, a lot to chew on. And I was listening to it in my headphones as I was, putzing around the house. And there was a couple of times where I was just I stopped and I was like, did I just hear what I thought I heard? All in all, loved it. Definitely want to read more John Marrs books. Then I moved on to another book on audio, Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This was on my April TBR and I didn't get to it. And then my Libby hold came in, so I started to listen to it on audio. And I have heard so many people say how much they like this book and how emotional it is for them, and that it's just like one of the best books they've ever read. And I'm 80% through. I'm 80% done. Most of that was listened to today as I was doing stuff around the house. And it is a very solid middle of the road 3 stars for me right now. There are some events that are taking place that make me think that it's going to start pulling on my emotions, but so far I'm not there. So far, I'm a little underwhelmed. I have done no physical reading today, but I did start last night, or maybe it was the night before, I can't remember. Recursion by Blake Crouch. This is my second Blake Crouch book, and just like when I read Dark Matter, he does such a good job at dumbing down really complicated theories and scientific studies and just scientific terms in general. This one is about memory and false memories and memory mapping. I'm only that far in, maybe like 60 pages. I think most of my reading over the next couple of days is going to be on audio. I have just, it's the end of the school year, so I have a lot of stuff that I need to work on at school. I'm making the yearbook, and that needs to be done like yesterday. And I just have a lot of busy stuff to do after work, so I think that I'm going to be rocking the headphones a lot this week. I'll update you as soon as I am finished with Beartown. 2 o'clock, my first break of the day. Got about 15 minutes to get a couple of pages read. Told you I wasn't going to have a lot of time to read today. I am a hot, sweaty mess. I just dropped off so many packages of books at the post office, and it is very, very hot outside. I am very, very sweaty. My next update is about Beartown. So I finished Beartown a couple of days ago, and I was expecting a lot more, to be honest. I have heard so many people say how much they love Frederick Bachman's writing, how emotional this book was. And I can see that sort of. I don't know if the fact that I listened to it on audio, and I listened to it pretty quickly, almost in one day, had any effect on my enjoyment. And don't get me wrong, I didn't hate it. I gave it a 4 stars. But most of the book is hockey and getting to know these people. And I can definitely see where people got emotional. It just didn't happen to me. I will probably continue the series, whether it's on audio or I read it physically. But it is not a priority read for me. So while I'm not mad that I read it, it definitely was not what I was expecting. And now that I'm thinking about it, and now that I'm talking about it, I probably should have rated it a 3, maybe a 3.5. I just don't see what the big whoop is, personally. But Team Podcasters is doing well. I'm having so much fun in the chat on Discord. We have new prompts being thrown at us. We have new game masters who are working against us. And it's just a lot of fun. So this is the end of week 1 Escape the Readathon reading vlog, and in total I finished 4 books this week. I finished Recursion today, 5-star read. It gets a little bit murky in the middle where I didn't fully grasp some of the stuff they were talking about because it's like time travel and memory and different timelines. Once I let go of trying to hold on to all of that so hard and just enjoy the reading experience, it got so much better. And by the end, I was totally on board and I completely understood everything that was going on. Loved it. Highly recommend it. Also started Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life, so I will continue my thoughts on that for next week's reading vlog. I think for tonight, I have 2 big books that I am trying to muck my way through, and I'm going to try to get a little bit of pages read for that before I start on a brand new book tomorrow. And that will also be the start of the week 2 Escape the Readathon reading vlog. See you then.